Hi, my name is Cindy and the name of my shop is Molasses Creek Woodcraft. Welcome. Today we're not in my shop, we're in my kitchen, and that's because I'm going to be making some cutting board conditioner from food grade mineral oil and beeswax. Now, this is nothing new. There's already scores of videos out there showing how to do this. And let's face it, it's not rocket science. But a question I do get very often is what proportions to use. So today I'm going to be making several different proportions so you can see what those look like. I'll be making a 1:1, which is 1 part beeswax and 1 part mineral oil. 1:2, which is 1 part beeswax, 2 parts mineral oil. 1 part beeswax and 3 parts mineral oil. 1 part beeswax and 4 parts mineral oil, and that should be sufficient. I don't think we need to go any further than that. Now, I'm going to be using these, you can see that. These are white beeswax pellets. And this food grade mineral oil. Now, I get these off of Amazon.com. The beeswax is currently $13.95 for 16 ounces. The mineral oil is currently $28.99 for a gallon. I do not have Amazon affiliate links, but these are easy enough to find on Amazon if you want to use these. I also want to mention that if you have a friend who is a beekeeper, or you know someone who's a beekeeper, you can also get beeswax from them. Now, this is beeswax that I got from a friend of mine who's a beekeeper. Shout out to Melody at Falling Fig Farms. Thank you very much. She says to use the cap wax or the cappings, and as you can see, these come pretty dirty. They have bee parts and debris in them. So they would have to be cleaned or rendered before you could use them. But that information is easy enough to find online if you want to do that and go in that direction. Now, a couple of things I wanted to mention. As far as the mineral oil, you always want to make sure you use food grade mineral oil. Now, this mineral oil, according to the specifications, is certified NSF certified food grade mineral oil, which means it's certified by the National Sanitation Foundation, whatever that means. Now, when you melt beeswax, you want to make sure you melt it at a very low temperature. You can use a double boiler or a crock pot. You just want to make sure you keep the temperature low. Beeswax melts at 145 degrees Fahrenheit, so it shouldn't take a lot of heat to melt it, and you don't want it to flash over. Now, I normally make this in large batches, but today, since I'm just making small batches, I'm going to use this hot plate and my little candle making pot. I'm just going to measure these by volume. You can measure them by weight if you want to, but I really don't think you need to be that precise. Measuring them by volume works fine. So let's get started. Okay, so this is just going to be the 1:1 solution. I'm just going to add 1 little cup of mineral oil and another little cup of the beeswax. And I have that kind of on a medium-low heat. I'm just going to keep stirring it as it melts, and it really does not take very long to melt. At least with these little beeswax pellets, they melt pretty quickly. And I'm just going to follow that same procedure for all 4 proportions. I don't need to show you all of those videos. You can see the 1:1 and the 1:2 are already getting solid. But we will just let these all sit for a while and let them cool. Hi, we are back. These solutions of beeswax and mineral oil have had plenty of time to sit and cool down and solidify now. So we're just going to see what they look like. I'm going to use this cutting board that I've made several years ago. It's been in our kitchen. We've been using it. It could use some conditioner. So we're going to take a look at these and see what they look like. So the 1-to-1 solution. You can see is pretty stiff. It'll ball up. It'll stick in a sticky ball. It does melt pretty well with the heat of your fingers. And I don't know if you can see. I think I'm gonna move the camera around so you can get a better look at this. Okay, hopefully I think this is a better camera angle so you can see it's kind of chunky, but it still goes on smoothly and it warms up with just the heat of your fingers. Kind of thick. So this is going to be the 1-to-2, and it's certainly not as thick as the first one. Goes on really smoothly, spreads out nice and even. This makes a really good hand conditioner too, by the way. All right, so this is the 1-to-3, and it's very soft. Very, very soft. And just spreads on there like butter. Almost liquefies with the warmth of your hand. And then the 1-to-4 is super soft. And just goes on there like liquid almost. So hopefully you can see what those look like. I'm going to wait about 10 or 15 minutes to kind of let them get hard, and then I'll buff it off and we'll see what it looks like. Well, somehow I lost the audio on this portion of my video, so we'll just talk through this. I'm going to start buffing these off, and the 1-to-1 solution, you can see it's very thick and it's very sticky. I don't really know what to compare it to. Maybe like a heavy grease almost. It takes quite a few paper towels to get through that to wipe everything off. Now, the 1-to-2 solution is still kind of thick, but certainly a lot easier to get off than a 1-to-1. It'll stick to the paper towel. It's still quite sticky. Still takes a few paper towels to get it off, but a lot easier than the 1-to-1 for sure. And the 1 to 3 solution, I've already mentioned, it just kind of went on like butter. It's really easy to work with. I really like the consistency of the 1 to 3 solution. And the 1 to 4, I mentioned it kind of goes on like a liquid almost, and it's really easy to wipe off because it is just very liquidy. So there you go. I hope that helps answer some of your questions as far as what proportions to use when you're making up your beeswax and mineral oil solutions. I can tell you there's not a lot of difference in the feel of how they go on. My personal preference, the 1-to-1, I like the 1-to-1 when I make a brand new cutting board, and what I'll do is I'll soak the cutting board just in mineral oil until it doesn't absorb any more mineral oil, and then I will put the 1-to-1 on it on a brand new cutting board. I really like the more waxy texture I get on a brand new cutting board. But if I'm making this up to give to someone, when I make a cutting board as a gift, or if I'm going to sell a cutting board, I kind of like the 1 to 3. The 1 to 4 is just a little bit too liquidy for me. The 1 to 3 goes on just like putting butter on toast, and it's easy to put on and it's easy to wipe off. So my personal preference, I like the 1-to-1 on a brand new cutting board. I like the 1 to 3 if I'm giving that to someone as a gift or giving it to a customer. So I hope that helps answer your questions about what proportions to use, and I hope this video has been helpful for you. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click like and subscribe and the notification bell icon. I appreciate everyone who watches my videos. Thank you very much.